Radio Free Tatooine presents Galactic War Report, a Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes podcast.
Bonjour, fellow holotable hustlers. You're tuned into a very spoopy Galactic War Report. This is our Halloween episode. We're a Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes podcast that's better than some and worse than others. I am Count Sean, a.k.a. the other Sean, and sitting across the holotable from me is Joshenstein, a.k.a. the Golden Pop-Tart.
Hey, it's Halloween, so I mean, it's a spooky time of year, a lot of fun here, and a lot of news in the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes world.
You know, to celebrate in years past, they've had Night Sister events, and this year they're just scaring us to death with Baylan Skoll's kit.
Right.
So we're going to talk about that. We've got Lightspeed bundles to talk about. We've got TIE Dagger to talk about. Man, it's been a week, and honestly, it hasn't been a week. We've just been kind of hanging out, and just the last couple days have been a week, is what it feels like. So we'll do all that and more, but first, let's do some blurf days. We're releasing this a day early because of Halloween. So I don't have that in the calendar, but I think the Night Sister Spirit and Zombie are both Halloween, but we talked about them last week, so skip them. I mean, celebrate, right? Everybody, yay, zombies and spirits, but skip them. That's basically me covering the fact that I didn't plan
There you go.
On the 1st, November 1st, we've got Biston from 2016. 8 years of Biston. We also have Anakin's Eta 2 Starfighter, which is turning 6 years old. Fantastic ship. And then the Hyena Bomber is turning 5 years old. It's crazy to think. It's always crazy to look back on when things came out and how long we've had them. Like Biston kind of, I don't want to say he seems like a new character, but like he doesn't seem like a character who's been here for 90% of the game.
Yeah,
but
definitely not. He
almost is. And that's weird to me. I don't know. We've always had Biston. But then things like fleet, as we're kind of looking at the fleet meta shift right now, we look back at 2018, how much Eta 2 changed. Fleet meta as well as Hyena Bomber. I mean, Malevolence and Negotiator used to be top dogs. And, I mean, man, they're really not. Actually, I shouldn't say that. Negotiator still has some use. Malevolence, not a lot.
I mean, they got a little bit of the lift, you know. A little bit of Botox, maybe not too much of a liposuction.
It wouldn't take much. I don't think it would take much to make Malevolence a decent ship again. You add like 1 or 2 more units. Because, I mean, honestly, no one ever uses all the units. You use, 2 reinforcements. You got 2 extra slots. Give me some weird droid ships.
I mean, maybe they'll release another ship that works with it and then just nerf all the rest of them and it'll all be even.
Oh, but they wouldn't do that.
No, they wouldn't at all.
On the 6th, we have one blurf day. It is Queel. Queel has been around for 4 years. For 4 years, he has spoken.
Wow. That one seems like it was just yesterday, but
I know that really does. Those Mandalorian ones. It's because that's like a kind of a benchmark where that's where Disney Plus kicks off, where the first TV stuff starts coming out. And that feels like, well, that's the modern era that we're in because of Baylan Skoll, because, all the Ahsoka content. So happy Blurf days. Moving on, let's take a look at this week's upcoming in-game events brought to you by swgohevents.com for a complete list of past, present, and future events. swgohevents.com is a universe of info in a galaxy of heroes. Now, on October 31st, of course, we've got our Night Sister Spirit and Night Sister Zombie shards flying in it's not on the list, but is it Defensive Dathomir, or am I naming it wrong? I don't know. It's the Night Sister.
We're going to call it that. So there you go.
What it is. We'll be defending Dathomir. On November 1st, there's really not a lot to this list here. So
no, there's not.
Keep that in mind.
We're busy. But
we will be busy, yeah. Because this doesn't have Baylan Skoll's event on it either, which is coming. And the new Assault Battle.
Assault Battle, yeah.
Whew, goodness. Okay, so, on the 1st, we do have an Assault Battle, Secrets and Shadows. We know that one. We know how fun that is. We also have a Galactic Challenge. This will be on Lothal. It is bonuses for Resistance, and you're playing against Empire. We also have an Omega Battle on Jakku. On the 2nd, it's just a credit heist.
We'll take the credits. So.
It's like a hearkening back to simpler times where we just got a credit heist. That's all we got to do today. On the 3rd, we have a Fleet Mastery for Home 1, even less exciting.
I know, right?
for most. And then on the 4th, we have an Omega Battle on Bespin and another Galactic Challenge. Now, that being said, we do have a new Assault Battle coming up, the Peridia one, which we'll have a little more details on later, but it's the new Peridia troopers. Kind of like a Duel of the Fates style thing where it's prescribed characters. And that is coming up, I don't know, the 4th or 5th, something like that. It's not on the official calendar yet, and I would have to look in-game and do the math. And y'all, you don't want that. You don't want my math. It's not at this hour.
It's TBD. So at some point we'll know when you know. Yeah. But I do think it's going to be interesting, though, that they're kind of keeping the new... I mean, obviously the new way, where you have to have Relic 9 characters to get everything. But on the other side of it, when you start looking at the kits through the data mines, I mean, not the kits, but the actual what the rewards are, I mean, you're talking Kairos, Droid Brains again, up to 20+ million in credits. Yeah. I mean, it feels like the Poncho Pal one. It makes sense. And I don't feel too bad, especially, of course, with the raid, having them at Relic 9. Yeah. But Relic 9, Night Trooper, Enoch, and Death Trooper.
We'll see. The good news is we'll all have them at, not all, but anyone who's chasing will have them at Relic 7. So, I mean, 7 to 9 sounds like only 2 levels, but we all know that's a lot to get there.
It's like when you accidentally put in your GPS when you're trying to walk, but, or you're trying to drive and it's walk. It's just, it looks like it's close. Weeks.
But. Yeah. Oh, man. So, we'll see how that goes. But let's get into top stories. But first, a quick shout out to our fantastic Patreon supporters. If you enjoy what we do and you want to be a part of our exclusive community, head over to patreon.com/Galactic War Report. We have a very clear, it's super easy, just a couple clicks, and you can start giving us money. So easy. So nothing easier. Your support makes this podcast possible, and you get access to the VIP section of our Discord server and access to Doth Chat, which I feel like tonight was a really fun Doth Chat.
It was. Definitely was.
Have a nice little chat with patrons before recording an episode, and that was a fun one. So now then, punch it, Pop-Tart.
Man, we're going to have to hit the hyperdrive twice on this one because there's a chunk. So
I'm drinking water, but I should go get my Red Bull.
Well, I think there's a lot there, and let's first talk about the Lightspeed bundles, because obviously that is something that is, front in mind for a lot of folks, and it's just kind of really nice to kind of catch up. Now, first off, it was data mine driven, so all of this right now, based on the fact it's probably already in the game and will be happening soon, which means tomorrow. First starting off is going to be the Chewie bundle. And this one, it looks like it's going to again start on 10/31 going to 11/6. Now it's going to be your bounty hunters. And so this one's going to be $24.99. It looks like Aura, is going to be in that. Fennec, Cad Bane. I mean, it really, Dengar. So it's a lot of good bounty hunters. Now, do you think right now there's a ton of people that this is a difficult one, like to be able to get Chewie unlocked now? Because it's gear 12 to get those unlocked, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be easy.
Yeah.
Just absolutely easy. Is Bosk included in that?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I didn't see. Oh, shoot. There it is. Bosk is not included.
Yeah.
So that's a bummer. But the rest of them at Relic 5, you could probably do it without Bosk.
Oh, for sure.
I think it's just going to be dominance,
I'm glad that that's not one of those events that I have to do anymore, because that was kind of a beast back in the day. But now it's But again, for the folks that want to get Chewie a lot quicker, there you go. You can go through and hopefully do that as of tomorrow, or today if you're listening to it.
I don't think it's that bad of a deal, honestly. I'm looking at it. It wouldn't help me at all, but I've been playing every day for almost 10 years.
I know, right?
I'm not everyone. I think for a lot of people, that's probably a pretty good deal.
Well, if you look at it, there's some requirements in there for Jabba, some for Executor. So, in some ways, it does help in those cases. But in the end, a decent amount of characters are Relic 5, and that's a lot of material. So
yeah.
Now, both of these, the next two are coming back. So we have the Hoth bundle. I actually don't have how much that's going to be in there. I know it's just basically your Rolos. It really is probably the worst. It's like, in my opinion, not the greatest ones at all.
I think if for people who never got to do Hoth, not terrible, but it's not super exciting either.
It's not getting a Galactic Legend for $9.99. That's all I'm good.
Right.
But again, it is nice to have. Now, the Night Sister one, especially with the fact that I'm going to give another update here in a second. Now that we have Great Mother being farmable, now a lot of people are looking at this Night Sister bundle and getting it to where I still think I bought that one. That got all of them up to, it was Relic 3. It was perfect for me. Marin was the only one that's not in that. But for me, that's the only way that my Night Sisters were going to get into Relics. And I'm really glad that I bought it. And that one, again, also, too, is on 10/31 going until 11/6. Same thing with the Hoth. So, hey, that's a lot of Relic material. It's a lot. Not a ton of Cairo, I guess, but a little bit of stuff in there to make it easier for you.
And we also have the Shadows of the Empire Lightspeed bundle. That's a killer right there.
Yeah.
$10 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 characters at Relic 3.
Oh, jeez.
That's the Rebel one for unlocking Palpatine and Thrawn, like as Phoenix, and that's also a return. And then the Starkiller one.
Yep, Starkiller one's back as well.
Kind of pricey, but how much is it? $50. Ugh.
Wow. Just thinking back on those first few, though, that's tough. But man, it's pretty interesting that Halloween kind of feels like it's becoming a holiday.
It really feels like they put some work into this Halloween, and that's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah, we'll take it. They did, obviously go through and offer us some good old toothpaste and some toothbrushes too, though. So with doing the, we got to check this candy to make sure there's no razor blades in it before anything else. But yeah, so Lightspeed bundles. It sounds like tomorrow's going to be a great day for those. So get out your checkbook and actually checkbook. Wow, I'm old. I'm old. Let me go get that credit card where I swipe it back.
Should I put a note on it? Yes, just right for tunes.
Yes, tunes. All right. So yes, Lightspeed bundles. Take a look at those tomorrow. Hopefully your GP drastically goes up. So let's go through and kind of the updates and also kind of to get in some of the data mines here. Now, first off, like I said, Great Mother, farmable Cantina. It almost sounds like, right? Like, wonderful. Awesome character, awesome kit. It's really, I know it's not going to be as good without the Datacron. Doesn't matter. It's going to be a good one, and it's going to be farmable.
Amazing. Yeah.
I mean, so if we have 2 for Baylan that are going to be Cantina, I'll say thank you on that one.
Yeah. Yeah, same here.
All right. So looking at the accelerated, looks like IG-12. Guess what? We got accelerated. Now, weird part now that I'm actually more in front than I am in behind when it comes to this type of stuff. I'm not doing anything with accelerated right now. It feels weird.
Do you still have locked characters that are accelerated?
Yes, I do.
Like some kind of unimportant
a lot of them.
Folks.
Yeah, a lot of unimportant. Like, I feel bad. Like, we definitely are leaving the children behind in some cases, right? You know, you always grab them first, and some of them back then they're just not.
It's hard to argue that you really need to be working on your Jawas or some of those other non-Lightspeed bundle folks or hyperdrive bundle.
So now here's a big one, and I put this all in caps because I think all of us at some point that have a GL have had a moment where you have grinded forever or spent on crystals or just had to beat your head against the wall because you lost tickets for your GL.
Yeah.
Now, guess what, folks? That ain't happening no more. Finally, after all of these years, we are not going to lose GL tickets when you're bad at the game or when RNG
is better at the game. Yeah. That's like one of the best changes. As many things as, look, I complain about things in this game. Yeah. And usually it's something stupid because I, have issues. But usually it's just I messed up and I'm mad about it, but I'm calling the game stupid. Losing tickets to a failed GL level attempt is one of the worst feelings in the game. It takes months to grind those characters. You get them, and now you have to grind the tickets, and then you get in there and you fail, and it sucks so bad. And taking that away from people is just thank you. Thank you,
I mean, I think it's when I think about the things that top 5 that I would love to change about the game, that was one of them. I mean, tickets in general for me is obnoxious. I'm just sorry. I think the fact that how long it takes for that, and there's just such that grind. I mean, again, understand it 100%, but if they can make it easier to not have to worry about that, and again, I think on the other side of it, or just make the event super easy.
Yeah.
Make it to where
there's no reason
a caveman can do it, right?
They should be really difficult. There really isn't, because you do the work. I say this every time, but you do all the work up front leading up to it, grinding those characters. It's time for payout, not pain. So
agreed.
That's just my 2 cents.
But it's absolutely wonderful. So when Ahsoka rolls around, I just had a thought. Does this mean they're going to make that event even tougher?
Shut your mouth.
No. I know. I just put that out in the world.
No, honestly, that would make a lot of sense. Like maybe they're testing it and they're like, well, it's hard, man. People are going to get mad and hate this. Just take away the ticket penalty. In which case, at least they're doing that. But
I'll take it. I mean, All right. So that to me is outstanding. I hope to a lot of folks, when you read that, see that, hear that, it's just, it makes your day at some point, because we got something else we'll talk about here in a second that might make it worse, but who knows? Let's talk about data mines though, because it seems like every single time we get an update, especially with the Baylan event coming in, I always tip my cap to these folks that are able to take this code and then basically recreate it. I mean, it's just unbelievable what they do, from events and all the data miners and stuff.
Yeah.
Great job. Now, the cool thing in this time around is we get to see some characters that are coming to the game. One of them right off the bat is, we have Padawan Sabine. We have, again, doesn't mean they're going to come to the game itself, but there's video out. I know she has to, right? But come on. I mean, Ahsoka needs a couple more keys, so here we go. But it looks like she's going to be in the Baylan event, most likely. So the Baylan kit is out there. If you go into events, into the data mine, you can actually read exactly. I don't think it's the right kit. Doesn't sound like it, because there's really not much to it. But we do get some images, and I'm excited. I'm really excited for that. And so you get to see some video as well. You can actually watch all the different moves for Padawan Sabine, but also to GL Ahsoka. I mean, you got images, you got some pieces to the actual moves as well. So
I haven't seen this. Where is this in the events Discord?
Yep, it's going to be the Discord. It's pretty cool.
I've been checked out all day.
It is. Well, I mean, there's just so much dropped after a little bit. I was actually watching Arnold a little bit, and all of a sudden, bam, a video, another one.
Wow.
And I'm thinking, wow, there's a lot of stuff today. But yeah, so if you're going into the events page on Discord, and you go down to the game assets, you'll be able to see that. And again, they have Baylan, a lot of images of Baylan, also two of the new assault battle, but the one that makes me happy is again Ahsoka, and it says Ahsoka Gray. And but there's also two, like, is it going to be kind of like a mechanics to where there's Ahsoka Gray and Ahsoka White, where she changes as she moves on? I don't know. It's going to be pretty interesting, but yeah, and they do have the thumbnails too. And so I wonder if Sabine is going to have the helmet on, because in one of the images, she has the helmet on. So, but they also too have the lightsaber, her green lightsaber, which is pretty cool. Yeah.
That is exciting. Cool.
Yeah. And it's just crazy in some ways that we, I don't know. I don't know why, but I'm just super excited for this. I guess I like Ahsoka, the series, way more than I thought I was going to. I mean, I knew I liked it, but now that I'm coming to the game, I'm excited.
It took me so long to find game assets, because there's so many channels in here.
There's a lot.
Goodness gracious. Okay, so now I can actually see it. That's a lot, and none of them are loading. Oh my God, whatever. At the end of the episode, I'll be like, wow, that looks cool.
I know, that's great, right? So, all right.
Now I see it. That is cool.
So pretty excited. Who knows when that's going to come in, but if it's in the game now, in the event, what starts here tomorrow. So it looks like we have 22 hours or so before that happens. So Halloween, it is starting.
So bring it on. Let's do this.
Man, this is, I almost need to take a drink real quick. I've got so many of these updates. We're going to be moving on. We haven't gotten to the cream of the crop, what we're going to talk about too. But
oh man, yeah.
Let's talk about TIE Dagger for a moment.
Yeah, that's a little easier to address. That it's really kind of not, but
there's a lot of stuff with it. I think we can keep the opinion side of it, a little bit low, because I think that we know. This is not one of those moments where it almost, remember whenever in leadership they always talk about using the crap sandwich, where you go through and you give a positive, then you say the negative, and then you end with a positive, and so that makes you feel better, but they still feel like junk because you're telling them they're doing something wrong.
Still got the bad news, yeah.
So what they did is they go through and say, hey, by the way, we're going to give you this kit where basically Baylan is going to be, GL level.
Mm-hmm.
But by the way, we're going to really mess up the ship, everything.
Yeah.
But by the way, you're no longer going to have to worry about GL tickets anymore. Right? Perfect. It's the crab sandwich. It's just great.
It's an open face crab sandwich.
There you go. So
fresh.
TIE Dagger. They really, obviously, when it came to, Dengar's ship coming into the punishment, that was just great. Now it was really perfect. Now what that ended up doing was saying, well, okay, you're going to have to switch up your teams to make it work. And we were talking during the DOS chat, poor Sith Assassin, it's just...
Yeah, that's the real losers in this, because we're all in this same rat race, right? Mm-hmm. We're all grinding the same stuff in different orders, but like we're all doing the same stuff. But the people who really got amped up about Leviathan and took their Sith Assassin to Relic 9, that's got to hurt a little right now. Yeah. Wasting a Relic 9, not a great feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And we should talk about the change so that they know. Basically, they only made 2 changes to it. It wasn't huge. Basically, you used to get 20% bonus protection, right? And now it gets 40%. Okay, not a huge deal. But enemy capital ships, if they are dark side, right? Or is it? I think it's dark side is the qualifier. Can't gain bonus turn meter. So Sith Assassin being fast was great because you could do the AoE and it would feed turn meter and you're off to the races. And if theirs went first, like the timing gets weird, but there's a way to catch up and maybe you can do it. Maybe RNG would just take you out. It did sometimes. But now, no one's going to be gaining turn meter in a mirror match. Additionally, no turn meter gain for Thrawn kind of shuts that down because the strategy, like the moves that you would use are all still there and they all still do the same things. But TIE Dagger used to feed turn meter to Thrawn by evading attacks. That will not happen anymore. Plus, TIE Dagger is just a mess after this, too, all the specific callouts. So, Chimera is screwed, right?
Yeah.
This shuts down any dark side ship that would be gaining turn meter. And the reason, like, the thing that everyone's most upset about, and I get why they're upset, but I don't care that much. Because in a mirror match, whoever wins the coin toss, whichever, because with Leviathan, they're all the same speed because you have to be Relic 9 to get it, right? Whoever wins the coin toss at the beginning of the match wins the whole match.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you play like an absolute buffoon. And I don't even know how you would do it, but I'm sure there's a way to lose it. So whoever goes first wins the whole match. To me, here's my silver lining is I can start a battle. I just did. I started a battle. I lost a coin toss. Cool. I forfeit. It's a time saver.
Yeah.
Like if you win, throw it on auto. I don't like fleets. So this means instantly I know if I need to forfeit or put it on auto and walk away. Either way, I'm fine with that. Now, the competitive part, that's for Fleet Arena. The competitive part for Grand Arena, that stings.
Yeah.
Because there's no good counter to it. I mean, like, Profundity can beat it.
Yeah.
And it sounds like negotiator can initiate like a 2-tap thing. Like if you do the right things with negotiator right off the bat, if you swarm I think you take out the dagger first, take that sucker out, and then you can go in with something else and beat it. But
yeah,
just come on, man.
I mean, I was watching and I did see some people beat it pretty handily with both Profundity and Executor, but you need to get everything up to Relic 9s. You need some toughness to it and a lot of luck. But I mean, it just, again, it goes back to kind of just what are we trying to do? You know, like, why? It's just so weird that we have a brand new ship come in and then all of a sudden we just change a lot of stuff with it. And
ships are no longer fun.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, not that I loved them, but like the things that made the ship meta good, I recognized and I appreciated.
Yeah.
And that's gone.
I mean, again, maybe we're only getting a small picture of what the future holds. Maybe there's something out there soon that's going to change things, and it's only a temporary issue. But hey,
but we don't lose Galactic Legend tickets.
I know. I was going to say the same thing.
Let's remember that we got the trick and the treat this year.
There you go.
What happened?
It's perfect. Well, I mean, man, that's all of our updates. That's all of our data mines. That's our light speed bundles, TIE Dagger. Now we need to get to the meat and potatoes of this 32 minutes in.
Oh, Lord. Oh, I forgot. Whatever. It's not important, but in my brain, I can't move past it. That dark side ships can't gain turn meter if your capital ship is Sith. So It doesn't shut down turn meter if you run it on a finalizer. It's only under a Leviathan that works, which I think is a pretty important thing to know. So, okay, yeah. Now I can move on to the meat, the potatoes, the Thanksgiving dinner.
A little bit of gravy, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let's crack this sucker open. Baylan Skoll. My goodness.
I know.
Looks absolutely insane. The power level is huge. The complexity is huge. The specific callouts are huge. It just this is a punishing one for the holo tables. Okay, so I mean, we knew he was going to be dark side tank, leader, mercenary, unalive force user. None of that's a surprise. What he does is just it looks exciting for a lot of different modes. I mean, obviously he's going to be a powerhouse in Grand Arena. That's what his Omicrons are for, etc. But I'm curious how he'll do in PvE, like because we all have to have all these characters up to Relic 7. New territory battle stuff, perhaps. And I think that could be kind of exciting. We'll see. But let's get through this. It's the basic isn't bad.
Yeah, I know, right?
That was a mistake. Actually, most of his abilities aren't that bad. We're just going to have a special section where we go over his leader ability because you are not ready for this. All right. This basic is called That Was a Mistake. Deal physical damage to target enemy. If it is Baylan Skoll's turn, he recovers 5% health and protection, and all mercenary allies gain 5% turn meter and tenacity up for 1 turn. Otherwise, this attack deals 30% less damage, and he taunts for 1 turn. So, not bad. Special 1 must destroy. And it is also relatively simple. Dispel all debuffs on all mercenary allies and deal physical damage to target enemy 3 times. Stagger them and inflict defense down and offense down for 2 turns. Baylan Skoll taunts for 2 turns and all mercenary allies gain offense up and potency up for 2 turns. I mean, there's a lot going on there, but it's not that bad. All right.
A lot of taunting so far, though.
Yeah, and it's like, it's not taunting as an action. It's taunting as like almost like an afterthought to other actions. It's kind of nice. Next one is power, such as you've never dreamed. Awesome animation.
Oh, yes,
love the look of this. This is deal physical damage to all enemies, dispel all buffs on them, and stun them for 1 turn. Enemies who resist this stun lose 50% turn meter instead, which can't be evaded or resisted. Whenever this ability is used, Baylan Skoll gains 5% tenacity, and if he has more than 40 stacks of Soldier of Fortune, all mercenary allies gain 20% offense stacking for the rest of the battle. These effects persist through defeat. Very cool. Then the Omicron is, while in Grand Arenas, enemies who resist stun lose 100% turn meter. You inflict armor shred on all enemies until end of battle. Huh? Whenever this ability is used, all mercenary allies gain 10 speed, stacking with a max of 100 until the end of battle, and this effect persists through defeat. Now, this is where it starts to get a little bit stupid. Okay. We're getting into his uniques. I'm going to have some water.
Yes.
Because
massage the vocal cords, right? You know?
I mean, this first one is called Master and Apprentice. This is another Omicron. It is, if Shin Hati is an ally at the start of battle, Baylan gains 5 stacks of Soldier of Fortune. If Merrick is an ally at the start of battle, Baylan gains another 5 stacks of Soldier of Fortune. While Baylan is active, he, Merrick, and Shin gain 10% crit avoidance and 20% evasion. Whenever an enemy evades Baylan's attack, he gains 2% offense stacking for the rest of the encounter, and all mercenary allies recover 20% health and protection. At the start of his turn, Baylan recovers 3% health and protection, and he gains the following effects depending on his stacks of Soldier of Fortune. If he has at least 45, while he's taunting, he reflects 45% of the damage dealt to him, which can't defeat enemies. That's going to be nasty as much as this guy taunts. Mm-hmm. At 50 stacks, whenever, and this is cumulative, right? At 50 stacks, whenever he attacks an enemy inflicted with Purge, he also exposes them for 1 turn. Okay. 55, whenever Baylan stuns an enemy, he reduces their speed by 10, stacking to a max 100 for the rest of the battle.
Wow.
Then, while in Grand Arenas, that's just the regular everyday stuff. While in Grand Arenas, at 45, Baylan, whenever he's damaged while taunting, he grants a random other mercenary ally speed up for 1 turn if they didn't already have it. At 50, whenever he attacks an enemy inflicted with Purge, he also reduces their tenacity by 20%, stacking to a max 100 till end of battle. And at 55, whenever he stuns an enemy, he also increases their cooldowns by 1. So, nice. The second unique is a nice little breather. At the start of battle, Baylan Skoll gains 1 stack of Soldier of Fortune for each relic amplifier level he has. Whenever he taunts, a random mercenary ally gains 1 stack of Soldier of Fortune, and if Baylan has more than 3 stacks, he loses 3 stacks of Soldier of Fortune. Whenever Baylan is damaged while taunting, he gains a stack of Soldier of Fortune. So, okay. At the start of their turns, all mercenary allies gain 5% health steal stacking and 2% defense stacking for each stack of Soldier of Fortune they have until the start of their next turn. Now, this next one, this is a first for Galactic War Report. Someone pointed out that on Reddit that this leader ability, it's all inevitable. which is a Zeta and an Omicron, is 1.5 times the length of the Gettysburg Address. That is no joke. It is 1.5 times the length of the Gettysburg Address. I wish maybe I'll put it in show notes. I don't remember who posted it, but holy cow. So, in honor, as is Halloween tradition, in honor of the Gettysburg Address.
Yes, of course.
We're going to do this leader ability justice. We're going to give this leader ability as an address. Let's go. At the start of battle, Baylan Skoll gains 30% offense and all mercenaries gain 20% tenacity. And 1 stack of Soldier of Fortune for each active mercenary ally. Then, mercenary allies double their current stacks of Soldier of Fortune. Whenever a mercenary ally gains a stack of ransom, all mercenary allies gain 1% defense, stacking until the end of the encounter and recover 5% health and protection. Whenever a mercenary ally has health steal up, they gain 25% critical damage and protection up 50% until health steal up expires. Whenever a mercenary ally is dazed or stunned, they dispel it, and all mercenary allies recover 25% health and protection. If there are no enemy galactic legends, whenever a mercenary ally is inflicted with fear, all mercenary allies gain 50% bonus max protection and offense, stacking until the end of the encounter. They also recover 50% health and protection. Additionally, they deal true damage to all enemies, which can't be evaded, or defeat them. They blind them for 1 turn, which can't be evaded, or resisted, and inflict them with healing immunity for 1 turn, which, of course, cannot be evaded, dispelled, or resisted. Whenever a mercenary ally assists or attacks out of turn, they gain 2 stacks of Soldier of Fortune. The first time each other mercenary ally falls below 50% health, Baylan Skoll taunts for 2 turns, which can't be dispelled or prevented. While taunting, Baylan has plus 50% defense, plus 30% tenacity, and retribution until taunt expires. While in grand arenas, at the start of battle, Baylan taunts for 2 turns. If there is a non-galactic legend Ahsoka enemy, mercenary allies ignore protection, are immune to critical hits and healing immunity, and they expose all enemies and inflict them with healing immunity for 1 turn, which can't be evaded or resisted at the start of each of their turns. If there are no galactic legend enemies, whenever Baylan taunts, he inflicts all enemies with doubt for 1 turn. If Baylan is not taunting, whenever an enemy takes a bonus turn, they are inflicted with healing immunity for 3 turns, which can't be dispelled. Whenever an enemy gains foresight, they dispel it and are inflicted with buff immunity for 2 turns instead. Whenever an enemy gains inspire, reduce all enemies' evasion by 50%, stacking until the end of encounter. And all mercenary allies gain 80% defense, also stacking. And 50% bonus protection, once again, stacking, until the end of the encounter. Defeated enemies can't be revived, and mercenary allies can't be instantly defeated. Also, you need Rex at Relic 7. Thank you, and may God bless America. So that's the kit.
Wow.
I don't know. Like, he looks like he's going to be good, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of words, so naturally.
Anyone who even pretends to understand what this guy does is full of crap.
I know.
I'm telling you. There's no way anyone knows what this guy does. At least not 100% of it. And that's fine, because that's the way this game works. Is I know, like for instance, Star Killer. Like, there's a lot going on in that kit that I don't know. I know that he hits really hard. He needs a Jedi, a Sith, and 2 Ufus. When he gets 100 of his little blue thing, he drops a Star Destroyer on your head. Mm-hmm. That's what. Also, he takes away buffs and hurts you with them. That's all I know, And I'm going to get there with Baylan Skoll someday, too. Someday I'll be like, yeah, he just, like, you put these guys on the team, and suddenly the other team can't do anything, Well,
the weird thing, though, is the one thing I was thinking about is a non-galactic Ahsoka enemy. So if there is a non-galactic legend Ahsoka enemy, it's like, wow.
Cat and
it's
Snips.
So, I know, right?
He's going after Cat and Snips, yeah.
But then we also too have Ransom in there. So it just feels like it's almost like they decided, okay, we need to get as many mercenaries in this thing so we can make it to where he works with a ton of them. But this is different. I mean, I'm really looking forward to the Whales and the Krakens tomorrow getting this. I mean, I'm going to be watching the videos of them unlocking and all that fun stuff. It's going to be interesting to see what this does. And in 3v3 Grand Arena, this is going to be that defensive team that you are just going to be, oh my word.
I'm going to get back, like, I even have a calendar notification on my phone every single day for me to meditate. And I don't usually do it. I just mark it off like, whatever. I'm trying to take care of myself, right? I need to get back to that because I'm going to need all the peace of mind, all the mindfulness that I can muster for when I finally see this in 3v3. Fortunately, I've lost so many Grand Arena matches. I'm not going to be up against the big guys. But, oh my God, this is going to be a nightmare.
Yeah, it's going to be nuts. Man.
I mean, that said, look, my beef with it is it's once again too much.
Yeah.
It's too much. I don't get it. None of y'all get it. There's someone out there listening like, no, I get it.
I read
no,
it.
you
I
don't.
Understand.
You don't know what this guy does. You're going to, no way. I mean, that said, he looks like he's going to be really good, really strong. We'll see. I mean, every time a kit like this comes out that's like a Galactic Legend Slayer, it works out. It's fine. Reva, for instance, I feel like she's got a pretty darn good place in the meta. Yeah. And even Queen Amidala, when I first saw that, and I still cannot tell you a lot of what goes on in those. Like, I'm rolling the dice. I think a cool thing's going to happen. There's a lot of that to that team. But when it's all said and done, I feel like it fits, it folds into the meta. Yeah. It's fine. And I think that's probably what's going to happen here. It's just going to be interesting to see where it kind of wedges in.
I just hope that Gungans beat it. I mean, I just want that. I don't know why, but
there's no specific call outs to Gungans. So,
no. I mean,
Yeah.
That's my prediction. You know, I mean,
it's
how
not
great
a galactic
would that be?
legend. It's, yeah.
Man,
Jeez. Yeah. Oh, and he's got an exclusive Datacron too. Yeah. I didn't even look at what that is. I don't even care. I'm not. To be completely honest, I never have to face the exclusive Datacrons, except maybe in Territory Wars. But then I'm just going to let someone else do it.
I know, right? Good luck. Good luck.
Oh boy! Someone commented on the EA forums. Seriously, CG. Relic 7 for tunes you can't even farm yet? That's pretty low, even for you. This is how you lose fan base and players. It's already happening and will just get worse. Look, I don't love it, but that's not a new thing. That's always been how new characters come out. There's marquees, and you got to pony up, or you got to wait till next time. That's not new. Oh, it looks like everyone piled on and let them know that. Okay. Good.
So did you now. So
good boys. Good.
There you go.
So I don't know. I mean, it's going to be a while before guys like you and me have them. You know,
a couple days.
But I mean, with more characters hitting Cantina, that's kind of nice.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting there. It'll happen.
Yeah. All right. So. What else have we got? Oh my goodness! Is there anything else? Oh, there's a survey.
I try to get into it. It already says that it is.
It's closed.
It's closed. Too many folks already. So
bummer. Well, they released a survey asking what you would like to see in the game, and I think is this real or is this a spoof? I think this is real.
I mean,
there was one asking about characters, and it looks like there's one asking about ships too that I had not seen. What ships would you like to see in a Star Wars game? Please pick 3, and it lists Luthen's ship, the Armorer's ship, Master Yoda's Starfighter, Carson Teva's X-wing, Bo-Katan's Starfighter, Bodhi's shuttle, Ventress's Starfighter. I want all of the above.
Yeah.
I want a whole lot of new ships, and I want a meta that makes sense again. Whatever that takes. I mean, if you can release one of those and make it make sense, great. I think Carson Teva would be cool. That's I wouldn't have thought of that, but that'd be a really interesting one.
Nice.
Ventress's Starfighter I've been whining about for years, literally at this point. But the character one, let me see if I have it here. Yeah, here we go. What characters would you like to see in a Star Wars game? And it's all characters that are not in this game. Did you have any picks that stood out to you of who you'd like to see?
To be honest, I haven't done it yet. I mean, I'm
I just have seen the screenshots from Reddit, but what they list is Chancellor Palpatine. Which let me go one by one here. Chancellor Palpatine, what are your thoughts on him coming to the game?
I think he's a main character in the series. It feels like it'd be the perfect one that can work both sides. And, we only have one neutral character. I think that he should be neutral and basically give on both. I think, honestly, I've heard people say maybe even a Galactic Legend style of it because he was so important to the whole series, but I would love it. How about you?
I would say I'm not with you on the neutral thing because in his core, he was evil the whole time.
Of course.
But. Wolf in sheep's clothing thing. But my one thing that pops in my mind first is that he couldn't be on a team. I don't see him. I mean, unless you do a Senate team, and that would be the most ridiculous thing.
Awesome.
Like Ord Free-Ta and all those other senator folks, Bail Organa, that kind of stuff. That would be interesting, and I can only imagine how long those kits would be. But I don't know. Doesn't move me as much. Mortis gods, the father, son, and daughter. It could be interesting as a trio. Honestly, like the three of them in a 3v3 could certainly work. Ventress unaligned. I think we'd do a second Ventress.
Oh, I think so too. And a good one too.
Yeah. I really think we could use another Ventress.
Bounty hunter or make it to where, yeah.
Yeah. There's plenty of like her appearance as she was in the Bad Batch.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Grand Admiral Thrawn exile. I don't need to check that box. We know that's coming.
Oh yeah, like, that's a GL. That's
I'm not talking about the data mine or any of that. I mean, like, come on, that's a surefire thing. Bail Organa, yeah, maybe. May Anis. Oh, that's May from Acolyte. Yeah, I want Acolyte stuff in this.
Oh,
and
hardcore,
I don't care how many people that would piss off.
Mm-hmm. Don't care.
I would like any of these, like Master Soul would be great, because that's going to open the door to an Acolyte team or a couple even that I think could be very cool. I know a lot of people disagree with me, and I'm not here to get into a fight about it. I think that would be cool.
Well, the nice part is I agree with you. So in this world, guess what? There's no arguing about it.
Maz Kanata, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Crimson Corsair, yes. Captain Ethano from The Force Awakens, like, has, a total background character that, whatever, not super important, but I just think his helmet is so cool. The character design is so cool that I want it. So I don't care. Carson Teva, like I said, hadn't thought of it, but that makes sense. Praetorian Guards, maybe. I could almost see like them and Knights of Ren both being like a group of like a Great Mothers thing where it's just like you just bring the Knights of Ren in or something. Instead of trying to make them all characters that we don't care about them enough to want to relic up 4 of them or 5, God forbid. Who else do we have? Snoke? Yeah.
No, definitely.
I'm
Snoke.
down.
Yeah.
Snoke should happen.
Mm-hmm.
Inquisitor Barriss. Oh, Snoke could go with the guards too. Absolutely. Inquisitor Barriss. Yep. I want it. 99. I know a lot of people really want him. I don't care. I don't know. Shak T. Sure. I mean, I'll keep her.
Yeah, right.
Fourth sister. Oh, crud. Who's the fourth sister?
I actually don't know that information.
I feel like I'm supposed to know this. Is it from Fourth Sister? Oh. No, that's not her. Oh, it's the other one from Ahsoka. That is not.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She doesn't do too much. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care. Nope. Bring in a Barriss Inquisitor because we like Barriss. Mm-hmm. Just bringing in Inquisitors for Inquisitor's sake, I don't know. I don't need it. Crosshair Imperial, absolutely. I want to see that. And none of the above. Who would pick that? Come on, man. I don't want any of these guys. Whatever. So, I don't know. Kind of an interesting thought experiment. I like to see those options as like, there's a good chance some of that stuff gets worked on.
Yeah.
If it's not already in the pipeline, like I said, Thrawn almost certainly is. Yeah. Okay. Quick update on Conquest. How you doing?
I'm at 234, and I am at the point now I got some really good data discs. Amplify Agony is making it to where I'm just destroying.
It feels good to be that bad.
I'm at the point now where, I mean, I'm going to get second to last crate relatively pretty easy. I think this time around, third time around, I'm going to do better, but I probably won't get to the last crate. But hey, I feel pretty good about where the discs are, and I already have some good stuff happening. So especially too with, kind of the getting some of these characters that are needed a little bit better. I mean, when you have Morgan at Relic 7, she's going to survive. It's still going to be a beast to kill stuff with her, but it'd be a lot easier with the Great Mothers, of course. How about for you?
Yeah, I'm in a decent spot. Going into this, I needed exactly 100 shards of Ezra, so that's max crate and buy 2, and I've got it.
Nice.
And I don't have to buy the pass. I just have to hunker down and do the thing. That said, I have not been hunkering down or doing the thing. Yesterday was a really, really busy day in Sean's life, and like midnight starts creeping up, and I'm like, oh God, I haven't done Conquest. And I did as many battles as I could, as fast as I could, and tried to like buy up my energy. I feel like it cuts you off sooner than it used to. It'll say like, you got to spend some energy before you can buy anymore. So I don't know, maybe I had just never been that aggressive with purchasing it before for refreshes. But that said, you're at 234. I'm at 188. Okay. So
not too far off for you.
I got to do some work, but
it's like an afternoon for you. So
yeah, honestly, we're still very early in Conquest, so it's fine. I just had that, and then obviously tomorrow being Halloween, we've got a lot. I have work, and then we have a lot of kids coming over for a Halloween party, and then we go all through the neighborhood. Look, I'm gonna try and get all my stuff done after recording tonight. Get my all my current Conquest energy spent, but get all my territory battles, my raids, all that stuff done, because I'm not gonna have a whole lot of time to mess around tomorrow. So we'll see. But the good news is Grand Arena is not on right now, so that's fine. I had a busy day today, and I normally stream Wednesday nights, but I said, you know what? I don't need to. There's nothing to do. And on off weeks, I always like pick some random game and stream it, and no one cares. No one watches. No one wants to see me play some old goofy game. For some reason, they like the experience of watching me suffer in this complicated game I barely understand. But Grand Arena, this last round, this was the final 5v5 of this season. How'd it go for you?
Yeah, actually went better than last time, because it was like 0 for 3 last time. So
oof.
A lot better this time around. In round 1, which is nice, so I think that was, so the last time I recorded, I was lucky enough to kind of play around a little bit during our Doth chat. And so we ended up having the experiment of Luthen versus Rey, and that was great. It worked. That's Relic 5 characters too to beat a Rey, so that was wonderful. Yeah. And the nice part was in round 2, I'm like, I'm going to try this again. And it worked again. So far, right now,
that's awesome.
It's going to be a counter for me. And it works out really well. But so round 1, I did win. And it was against Monty. And again, it was nice. Luthen versus Rey. Kenobi versus Slicker. I don't really see that very often on defense. So that was really nice. The only thing that didn't go well for me was Night Sisters. I tried to use my Imperial Troopers, and it just didn't work. But the best part of this is Monty just didn't play. So I ended up winning 17 to 91. Actually, 1791 to 71. So I'll take it, right? I needed a win after getting booted. And then going into round 2, that was to get into Locke Bellevue, maybe? I don't know. So that was a win.
I don't know.
Bellevue.
Locke Bellevue.
Kind of fun stuff. Using Bane against Queen P is always great. You just destroy. It feels good.
Yeah.
Right, and it's just you do a couple moves. Anything else, it's kind of a pain. But again, Luthen versus Rey worked out perfect. Now the downside is I couldn't get past their profundity. Nothing was working. So I was like, I actually battled first thinking, okay, here we go. Best part is they just didn't try very much. They ended up same thing. I won 14-10 to 268. Now it looks like they just must have ran out of time because they didn't have problems. They just didn't finish. So I'll take that as a win as well. So again, if they don't try, I win. So keep that up, guys.
Love that.
Now round 3 was a tough one for me. That was a loss, and that was against Chris Landflyer. So great name.
Like a Skywalker?
I guess so, right? Now looking at kind of what the good, it was kind of nice because I did get some holds on this one. You know, Rey held against Starkiller, Jabba held against Night Sisters, and Malicos had held against Kenobi. But the best part was the Jabba and the Malicos, they timed out. So even though they beat me, they timed out twice because that annoyed them. So I feel like it's, I don't know, it's like a dinosaur that has a spike. So if you bite me, I'm going to just spike you a little bit. I guess that's what I did. I took over 10 minutes of your time. So who's the winner?
You got
here?
nothing for it. You got nothing.
But then all they did was they put their Leia on defense, and just didn't work. I mean, nothing was working. I mean, mirror matches, I was throwing basically everything at it, and it just didn't work. I don't know why, but I do know that her ultimate is annoying, especially when she defeats somebody and they all come back.
And they all res. Oh, God, that's the ultimate, crap.
Well, and they also had Mon Mothma in there, so I mean, it was.
Oh man,
it was a painful one. So 556 to 1790. So hey, I will still take this time a win. I got a couple extra crystals around, so it is still pretty lonely down here in Kyber 4, but we're living. How about for you?
Well, in the first round, I got my opponent Irasil, they hit me pretty hard, I'll be honest. The only defense I got, interestingly enough, was my Dash Rendar team. And mind you, I don't have his Omicron, but my Dash team got it done defending against a CLS, which normally that's a pretty easy win right there. But I don't know, worked out. But then on attack, it just was not happening, right? So my Bo-Katan failed against Lord Vader, and this was where I forgot to put a Datacron on. And that just set everything in motion, tried Gas against Lord Vader, tried Fennec against Lord Vader. It wasn't happening. I finally beat it with Jedi Master Kenobi, but there were a lot of other tough defenses, and it couldn't get through them. So round 2, I go up against Nari. And the thing about this one was I didn't get a lot of points. So I only put up 938. And I'm like, that's going to be a problem, right? And I don't remember what the other defenses were. I didn't drop any battles, but they had some defenses that were top-notch, nasty. And I had used what I could possibly use. And, it was time. That's what it was. It was time. That's why I failed. It's all good except, and Jabba. Yep. My Slicker failed against Jabba, and I was running out of time too, and it just was not super fun, man. Round 3, I go up against Honk Solo. One of my favorite names I've ever seen in this game, easily. I put up 1801, and honestly, I'm kind of... The one good thing here was I failed with Slicker against Jabba. I keep trying that, and it keeps not working.
Doesn't work, huh?
I need to change my strategy drastically. But I cleaned that up with Leia. Fortunately, the defenses weren't that bad. I did get tripped up with Traya, though. I thought that my my gas was going to be able to beat her. No, these were like relic 7, 5 to 7. And it had a Darth Nihilus Datacron, which isn't that big of a deal, but I guess it was a big enough deal. Also, the level 6 was like everybody gets ability blocked all the time. So it was it was a frustrating one. Went back in with Seer and cleared that out. So 1801 and Honk Solo said, oh, yeah? Well, I'm going to lose a Bo-Katan versus Lord Vader match this time. They did that, and they got out and put up 12 points. That's it. So, not triumphant round of Grand Arena, but kind of silly. All right, so holy smokes, long episode. We had, this is a little behind the scenes, we had a recording break, and then we had to start it back up. So I don't even know how many minutes. We've got 37 minutes on this recording, and the other one was not a tiny recording.
No.
So before these people just tune us out and say, you know what, I can't deal with these windbags anymore. Why don't we just tell them who we're grinding?
Perfect. Not a lot, to be honest. That's we're going to save some time, even though I'm wasting time, I guess. But all right. So looking at kind of my Ahsoka journey here, I was able to take Ezra from Relic 3 to Relic 5. So he's officially done. And so now I still have Ventress. She's only at Relic 3. So we're going to get her where she needs to go here pretty soon. But we got to get working on those Great Mothers. But
yeah,
Death Trooper, man, it just feels like these drop rates are kicking my tail. But 57 out of 65 up to a whopping 8 out of 85. So now Enoch, he is 15 out of 65 up to 29 out of 65. And yes, that is refreshes. That is every day working on them. So,
golly.
And then
sometimes it just hurts.
It does. Bad. And Night Trooper went from 71 up of 100 up to Relic 4. So we're getting there pretty good. We're going to take a break on that to get to Great Mothers. Now, here's the thing. As I went through and as soon as I saw that she was farmable, or they were farmable, I'm like, I'll use 100 refresh, my last one on there. Mm-hmm. I went from 15 out of 30 up to 16 out of 30.
Yeah, man.
Yay, totally worth those 100 crystals. And that, honestly, is it. I haven't even done my Datacrons yet, going through and actually using the materials to see what I have. So I legitly have definitely, I mean, it's not horrible, but it's not great. So
yeah.
So I got to know, especially because, I mean, we're like 4 hours in at this point. I really need to know, right? Like, who'd you grinded?
Golly. Even less stuff. I told you I was working on that Treya team, right? Like getting them up higher relics. They're all up to Relic 5 now. So I'm glad I did it. No regrets whatsoever. But they gotta move to the back seat because I'm getting some of those characters close to 7 stars, and they all got to go to Relic 7. So chill on out. Plus, Great Mothers also getting the fast track treatment here. So I didn't have any energy to spend on Great Mothers yet. So we'll see. Nothing yet. 8 out of 65. My Shin and Merrick have also not been touched. So Baylan, like, I'll see you when I see you, my dude. Honestly, I might finish the Ahsoka relics before Great Mothers. And I only say that because, like, Shin and Merrick are going to take me so long that, like, I don't know. I have to balance the fact that Great Mothers, maybe as a requirement, aren't as big of a deal, but they are a great team. So I don't know. I got to think about that one. But my Night Trooper went from 49 up to 73 out of 100. So hopefully next week we'll be working on some relics there. I don't know. We'll see. My Nibbler went from 12 up to 38 out of 85. Captain Enoch from 24 up to 48 out of 65. See, that's going to be a while too. But I did actually get Rex from Relic 5 up to Relic 6 also. Nice. I figured, you know what, I'm finishing that. I should be able to finish that either tomorrow or the next day, and then just, you know, knocking one more thing off the list, which we got to be getting the rest of those requirements, or at least another batch of those requirements soon if they're already leaking one. But as far as datacrons, I got, you know, all those datacrons disassembling, and I have one that I was able to take to level 8. Nice. So I got an Old Republic one. Whenever they recover health, they recover protection equal to the health. Whatever, you know. That's all we got for you this week. It may not be the best advice, but at least we didn't tell you have to understand Baylan Skoll's kit. You don't. You don't have to understand what's happening to you yet. If you want to continue the conversation, join our Discord server. It's linked in the show description. Become a real live Jawa by supporting us on Patreon, and share your thoughts by leaving us a podcast review. Big thanks go out to Pabu Appa and SWGOH.GG and SWGOHevents.com for providing all the hard data we misinterpret weekly. Thanks for tuning in, and may the Force and RNG be with you.